Hello, my name is Sergey Frolov.
My name is Francisco Cortez.
And I'm Jackson Taylor. We are part of Team 23, and we're discussing the importance of a first impression.
Let's begin by establishing the main factors that play into making the first impression. Based on data, we can see that spoken words only contribute to about 7% of the first impression. However, the tone of your voice contributes to a significant 38% of the first impression. So rather than focusing on what you're going to say, focus on how you're going to say it. Last but not least, 55% of your first impression is based on your body language. According to a survey, about 10 seconds after meeting someone for the first time, 55% of those surveyed feel physical appearance influences their first impression of that person. 38% of people feel tone of voice plays into their first impression of a person. 93% of those surveyed feel nonverbal communication affects their opinion of others. Studies show that people retain only 50% of the information they hear. That said, that really emphasizes that you need to focus on the tone of your voice rather than those words. It is important to remember that first impressions last forever. Bad experiences are more likely to be remembered than good experiences. So really focus on killing that first impression.
Now, going off of what Sergey said, there's many data and many examples on how to make a great first impression. Along with that, there are many crucial factors on making a bad first impression. Let's go over some. The first and most obvious is arriving late, which displays an immense lack of respect for you and the interviewee. Second is being underdressed for the occasion, which displays a lack of planning on your part. Third is using your cell phone, which displays a lack of interest to the job you are applying for. And lastly is a lack of research on the company, which displays an immense level of unpreparedness on your part. Now, before we get into this video of a classic example of a bad first impression, let's go over the underlying issues in this video. The woman applying for the job does not make direct eye contact once or shake hands properly with the interviewee. Second, she comes in clearly underdressed, which I previously mentioned shows an immense lack of respect for the interviewee. Third, she is constantly looking at her phone, which displays a lack of interest. Fourth, she answers questions with little to no prior knowledge or confidence. And lastly, she shows a lack of respect for the interviewer's time by displaying all of the above. Now let's take a look at the video.
Hi, I'm the manager. My name is Paige. Oh, it's nice to meet you. Oh, it's nice to meet you too. My name's Kristen. Which job are you applying for today? I'm applying for the cashier position. Can you tell me about yourself? I'm responsible. I'm friendly, hardworking. What are your job skills? I can count money. I can use a cash register. I can kind of speak Spanish. What is your past job experience? I was a babysitter and an office cleaner. What job responsibilities did you have at your last job? I swept the floor, took out the trash, and dusted. Yeah. Why did you leave your last job? I left my last job because I needed more hours.
Now, diving into a good first impression, you have to remember that you only get one. Arriving 15 minutes early to the interview is actually making sure that you are on time and making sure that you are prepared. Expressing a positive, strong posture and attitude, not only to your employer, but to the people around you, the people that you could be working with, shows confidence. Firm handshake and comfortable eye contact ensures that you are engaged and listening. And dressing to impress and paying attention to small details such as polishing shoes, doing your hair, etc. Your employer will also be paying attention to this and making a decision from there.
So let's talk about what you can do to make a good first impression. Let's have a look at what Chief Experience Officer from Technology Service Group has to say about the importance of the first impression and his personal experiences with it.
The people that you engage with for the first time can't help but form an opinion about you. If you're nervous or distant, they're going to adopt the same feelings. If you're comfortable and confident, sets the stage for a great discussion. People automatically form an opinion in the first few minutes, so that first impression is really important. When possible, take time to learn something about the person you're talking to. Where they're from, what do they like, what do they do. If it's the very first time you're meeting with them, let them know that you're at ease. It really helps make the discussion go. When I first met our CEO, Sheldon, I was a customer at the time, and I had a meeting with my primary contact. He had just tagged along. The introductions weren't real formal, so I assumed he was shadowing. We got through our discussion, and I turned to him and I said, "So, who's the new guy?" And she said, "He's our founder and CEO." And we had a good laugh about it.
So here are some of the important points that should be underlined in order to make a good first impression. First is dress professionally. Make sure, if you're in doubt on how to dress, make sure you dress conservatively. A suit will surface in most situations. Make sure your outfit is wrinkle-free. Stick with solid colors and tighter woven fabric or simple patterns. Accessories should be kept simple, basic pumps, modest jewelry, light makeup, and light perfume. Wear a belt and a watch. Be sure your hair is neatly trimmed or groomed. Avoid the messy look. Shirts with lettering or graphics should not be worn. Check your outfit for missing buttons, lint, or crooked tie. The skirt should be no shorter than the tips of your middle fingers. Second is be sure you have a good nonverbal communication. Make sure that you greet and settle down calmly, use appropriate hand gestures, occasional eye contact, and come and go with enthusiasm. Next is make sure you have a handshake and smile throughout the whole meeting. That will emphasize that you are at ease and confident in yourself. Have a good time management. As Jackson said before, usually it is accepted to arrive 15 minutes early or 5 to 10 minutes early. Anything beyond that is considered unacceptable. Be prepared. Learn about the person you're going to be speaking to. Make sure you know their culture. Make sure you know where they're coming from, their religion, ethnicity, the community he's coming from, in order to make a connection with them. And last is be at ease and express confidence. Indicate it from the start. Make sure you're calm and you express it. Joanne Rowling, an author of much loved Harry Potter novel series, has a great assertive quote that indicates how important the first impression is. She says, "A good first impression can work wonders." This is true because it will set you up for success in the future and make valuable connections with people and make sure you're likable. So the key takeaways from the presentation are: be punctual, arrive early, dress well, have a firm handshake, show your confidence, be friendly and polite, make sure to smile, and stay confident and calm. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and thank you for your time.